Hi children, good morning. Welcome to our next class. In last class you learned about parasitic roots and what are the different parasitic plants, how they obtain their nutrients. You learned, right? In today's class we are going to learn about the other parts of the plants which are able to see in this picture. It's a huge banyan tree and you can observe some roots are growing from their branches, right? Actually, the roots are under the soil. You learnt that the root system is under the soil. But here you are able to see the roots are growing from the branches. So they are modified roots. So in today's class, we are going to learn about the plants with modified roots. Which plants have modified roots and how they are helping, we are going to learn in today's class. So in this, the first word is adaptation. You have already learned the meaning of adaptation. Means changes seen in plants or animals that help them to live in their surroundings. So, according to their surroundings, plants and animals acquire some changes in them. Those are known as adaptations. And next, modifications. Change made to adopt. What change actually the particular plant or the animal acquired called as modification. So, these are the new words you are going to see in LP4 modified roots children. Okay, now we will see, before understanding this content, we'll do one small activity. You observe the diagrams what I am showing to you and how the roots of these plants observe and try to identify how they are different from the other plant roots. Here you are able to see the sweet potato. Is the sweet potato grows above the ground or under the ground? Definitely it is growing under the ground. Sweet potato grows under the ground. Under the ground it's growing. So it is not only supplying the food, water and nutrients to the plant, it's also doing an extra function that's called as storage. It's storing the food. It is storing food for the plant. So in sweet potato, the part which we are eating is actually the root part we are eating. So these roots are called storage roots. The roots which we observe in sweet potato called as storage roots. So they are helping to store the food. And the next plant is ivy plant. You can also take, instead of ivy plant, a money plant is also one of the climber. So in money plant, when you observe the roots of the money plant, they are helping to climb. These roots are helping to climb for the plant. If we give, they are very weak stem they are having. When we give any support for them, they climb up like a wall or a tree trunk or any wooden stick. When we give support, they are able to climb. So such roots are called climbing roots. Climbing roots. So money plant is having climbing roots. These are the modifications. Actually the function of the roots, everybody knows that they are absorbing the water and the nutrients from the soil and passing to the leaves, and there the food get prepared. These all known story for you. But the extra functions roots are doing here, like in sweet potato, they are storing the food. So they are acting like storage roots. And in money plant and ivy plant, they are helping to climb. That's why they are called as climbing roots. Okay. So now one more picture we'll see now. what type of roots you are able to see here, you identify. You know that in before class you learnt about parasitic plant, and you can observe and you can identify this plant as it's a dodder plant, parasitic plant. It doesn't have green color part. It's depending on the host plant, and they have specialized roots called as hostorias. And before class you learnt about these roots. So they are helping to penetrate around the host plant and to absorb the nutrients from host plant. They are using their roots to absorb the nutrients from the host plant. So these type of roots are called as parasitic roots. So dodder plant is having parasitic roots. So parasitic roots are helping them to absorb the nutrients from host plant. This you already learnt in before class, right? So their roots are modified into like hostorias, helping to absorb the nutrients from host plant, right? And then next, if you see the huge banyan tree. Banyan tree branches are having the roots. So these roots are helping them to give some external support. They are giving the extra support for mother plant, because banyan is very huge plant, and it needs support. When the branches are growing very big, they cannot stand or depend on the main stem. So in that time they need a special support from the roots. So these roots are growing from the branches of banyan tree. So such roots are called prop roots. What we call the roots in banyan plant? Prop roots. We are calling them as prop roots. So the banyan tree have prop roots which are helping them to give external support to the growing branches, and dodder plant have parasitic roots which help them to absorb the nutrients from host plant. So these are the modifications we can find in different roots, children. And here you can see one more type of roots. They are helping to fix the nitrogen in the soil. They are pea plant. Actually, when you see the pea plant, in their roots a swollen part is present, that's called as root nodule. This is known as a swollen part present on their roots, especially like pea plant, groundnut plant, black gram, green gram, Bengal gram. All these gram plants have a special swollen parts on their roots called as rhizobium. These roots are known as swollen roots are known as root nodules. They are known as root nodules. So wherever this swollen part can be seen, that's known as root nodule. So this root nodule having a specialized bacteria inside, that bacteria called as rhizobium bacteria, which helps to fix the nitrogen in around us. In the air nitrogen is there, that is very essential for the growth of these plants, but they cannot take directly from the atmosphere, directly from air they cannot take that nitrogen. So this rhizobium bacteria is taking that nitrogen and sending to this plant. So that's why these roots are called nitrogen fixing roots. So pea plant have nitrogen fixing roots. Just now you had seen many modifications, children. In sweet potato, storage roots you had seen. In dodder plant, parasitic roots we had seen. In pea plant, nitrogen fixing roots you saw. And in money plant, climbing roots you observed. And in banyan plants you observed prop roots. Understood? So these all are the different modifications in roots. They are helping them to grow, and at the same time in different functions to carry out in a plant they are helping. Okay, now you see this video, you'll understand more about the Modifications of roots.
Roots of plants are modified for different functions. Storage roots store extra food that plants make. Parasitic roots penetrate the host. Nitrogen-fixing roots make the soil fertile. Climbing roots help plants climb on support. Prop roots give extra support to the stem.
Understood, children? Once again, watch the video.
Roots of plants are modified for different functions. Storage roots store extra food that plants make. Parasitic roots penetrate the host. Nitrogen-fixing roots make the soil fertile. Climbing roots help plants climb on support. Prop roots give extra support to the stem.
Understood, children? Now we will see what are the different roots given in your content book. Apart from the modification, there are two main types of root systems are there. What are those and how they are different from each other, we'll see. So the first one you can see there is no main root at all. A bunch of roots are growing. Here. You see, bunch of roots grow from the lower part of the stem. This is the stem. So at the lower part of the stem, bunch of groups are growing. They are with same size. These roots cannot grow deep into the soil. They will not go deep into the soil. Okay. So these roots are called as fibrous roots. They do not have any main root. They all are growing with same size and they are not going very deep into the soil. So such roots are called fibrous roots. When you see the other root, it has a main root, a big main root which is going very deep into the soil, and the other roots are growing from the main root. These are called secondary roots. The roots which are growing from the main root, they are known as secondary roots. Secondary roots are having small hair-like structures on them. They are called tertiary roots. So this is the main root, secondary roots, tertiary roots. Main root is very long, grows deep into the soil, and secondary roots arises from the main root, and the small hair-like structures present on the secondary roots called as tertiary roots. So the roots which have a main root, those roots are called taproot. And the roots which do not have a main root called as fibrous root. So these type of fibrous roots can be seen in plants like grass, rice, wheat and onion. In these plants we can see the fibrous root. You take one onion and observe the fibrous roots. All the roots are visible for us in onion. And when you see like mango, neem and brinjal plants have tap roots. Okay. So these tap roots are having one root cap at the edge. Root cap is present. This helps for the growth of the root. Understood? So there are two main different types of roots. They are fibrous roots, tap roots. And fibrous roots all growing from the under the stem with same size. There is no main root. In tap root, one long main root is there. From that secondary and tertiary roots are growing, and main root also has a root cap which helps for the growth of the root. Understood, children? Now we will see in the same page, page number 22, some practice questions are given. These practice questions once we will see. Which of the following plants have modified roots? Tick the correct option. Is sweet potato have modified root? Ivy plant, dodder plant, hibiscus plant. Except hibiscus, Other all three plants have specialized roots, modified roots. So you can tick those remaining three plants. Remaining three, you put a tick mark in the box given here, children. So put a tick marks in three of these plants have modified roots. Next one, describe how the following plants are modified to carry out different functions. Nitrogen fixing plant, how it is modified? Their roots are having root nodules. That is, the modification can be seen in nitrogen fixing plant. And in parasitic plant you can see the hostorias. Roots are modified into like hostorias to absorb the nutrients from the host plant. Okay, now third question you see, what would happen if nitrogen fixing plants could no longer fix nitrogen from the atmosphere? The plants cannot grow healthily because for the proper growth of plants, nitrogen is needed compulsory. Third one, next one, how would this affect the plant? Yes, definitely it affects the growth of the plant. Okay, children. So write these second and third answers in your notebook. Now we will see the workbook, what questions are given in this particular chapter we will see now. In worksheet, plants with modified roots. Okay, write the types of modified roots shown in the picture. In first picture, storage roots. They are storage roots. They modified to store the food. So they are known as storage roots. And the second one, they are helping for climbing. So they are climbing roots. And the third picture, prop roots. They are helping to give support to the plant. So they are prop roots. And this next question, complete the table, write the adaptations of the following modified roots. Banyan tree have prop roots which help them. Here banyan tree have prop roots which help them. Prop roots are helping them to give support to the plant. And ivy plant, in ivy or money plant, roots are modified like climbing roots. So they help for climbing the tree. The plant can climb up by using these roots. And the next one, pea plant, nitrogen fixing plant. Their root nodules have rhizobium bacteria. It can fix the nitrogen in the soil. And the last one, what will happen to a banyan tree and an ivy plant if they do not have the special features such as their modified roots? What will happen to a banyan tree? Banyan tree, when their branches are growing more and more, it need compulsory some support for their branches, or else the branches may break down. And ivy plant need the support of roots, otherwise it cannot climb up and can't grow. So these two you complete in this page, and complete your workbook and practice questions and show me in online class, children. Thank you.